Hi everyone, I'm going to show you how I clean the canister filter in this 120 gallon. I use the Fluval Fx6 on the 60 gallon, on the 65 and on this 120 gallon. This filter, the last time I did any service was now November 23rd. Last time I did service on this filter was on 6/10, on June 10th. And the filter floss, the fine filter floss, the last time I changed it was on August 18 again. Now this is November 23rd. I'm doing the filter. Usually I can go a little bit longer, or I may try to change the fine filter floss probably every month. I can just open up the top and remove the top. The way I have it set up, I have the fine filter floss on top so I can easily remove it. So one important thing is whenever you change you service your filter, you try not to do it on the same day that you do a water change. I did a water change on this tank. It's under treatment right now with some medication, so I don't have any chemical media in the tank right now. I haven't had it for a few months anyway. And the filter has been, the tank has been doing fine, but I noticed that the return, the output was very low. Very low, so it's clogged, so I need to just change the fine filter floss. Very important whenever you do any kind of servicing on your or any rinsing of your biological media, you should use tank water that it is dechlorinated, so you do not affect your biological media. I'm just going to take a little bit of water from the tank and siphon it into these two buckets here. Out the biological media. The FX6 has a little discharge valve here, drainage valve. You can put a hose here that comes with the filter, which is this hose here that I've been using to siphon out the water. Put it here, you can drain a little bit of water because this filter is quite heavy, so you can drain some of the water and just make it slightly lighter to remove it from there. Whenever you're going to, this is the FX6 by Fluval. Whenever you're going to remove the tank, remove the canister, this probably holds probably a good 5 gallons of water, 4 to 5 gallons of water. It is heavy, so you got to empty a little bit of the water out just to remove it from there. I've closed the valves here, both the intake and the output valves. I've already closed them. I have been doing some woodwork here, so that the top of the filter is quite dusty. So if I've already removed this here, you have to, whenever you're doing this, get a rag. Sorry about the camera movement. Get a rag. There's a little push button here. Get something here to catch some of the water. It may be helpful because you are going to leak a little bit of water that remains in here in the tubes, okay? So just lift it, press here, and just lift the valve up. There is a little bit of water coming there, okay? And then you do the same thing with the other one. So the filter is out. So these are the locking nuts here to the cover. So you should remove a little bit of water first because the filter is quite heavy when it's full of water. So I already have water here from the tank. This tank is currently under treatment. There was a few that had some spots and some stuff, so just precautionary. I would caution that you're just treating it with antibiotic. Once unlocked, you just take the cover off, and I'll go over the filter material one at a time here. This Fluval has 3 separate baskets of filtering material. I keep, this one is kind of flat here, so see the flow through it was already pretty low because it got kind of all sucked in here. This is a heavy, a porous material, which is reusable. I bought this recently and I'm trying these guys, but this is very mucky, as you can see. That's a lot of ugly muck there, so that's why the filter flow through it is so slow. The first layer of the first basket was pretty gunky looking. Again, this is like more than 3 months. Usually the filter floss, the first one, the thinner, the finer one, I try to change it about once every month, but sometimes time passes you and you don't realize that much time has gone by This is a second layer, and this third layer was not as bad, but the first one was pretty clogged up. That's why the return was so slow. These are the coarse sponges. They actually look pretty good for about 6 months. I'm going to rinse them out because now the filter is open, but this is actually not bad and not that dirty relatively, but I will give it a quick rinse and just leave it alone. The baskets will be cleaned. I just use regular water at the shower. I use the spray hose and just clean the heavy stuff off. Nothing too aggressive scrubbing. I've already washed the sponges, 2 buckets, dirty bucket, and then a cleaner bucket, but still even then the water is very mucky because again it's like 6 months without any servicing of this filter. The biological media, I have 5 bags of biomedia here. This Fluval Fx6 holds a lot of media, so this is all, it's a mixture of this biohome media and then the matrix from C-Chem, so it's a combination of both. So I have the 2 lower baskets full of media. Okay. This is going to be the bottle. So the Fluval, again, the water comes from the outside through the coarse sponges here. So we just put them back. They come through the coarse sponges, and then it goes up to the top, and then it goes down the end. So you will have your coarse filtering material outside, coarse on top, and then you have your fine filter floss, which is just basically is a polyester film. These are bags from quilting stuff. I buy it in Walmart, and you just cut them to size and put them there. So this is going to trap your fine particles, coarse particles, fine particles, so that by the time it gets to the filter media, then the water is fairly clean, and this should be the last thing. If you don't want to clog your filter media with dirt, it becomes ineffective if it gets full of dirt. I've already hosed down the basket, which were a little gunky, so I just used a regular bathroom shower hose. That's what I use, and I cleaned the tubes that draw the water in, just to build up stuff and waste around it. The basket, don't worry too much about beneficial bacteria. There's enough bacteria in the gravel and in the filter material to sustain your tank. So this I just use just hot water to remove some of the built-up stuff in the tank, but I don't go crazy scrubbing it. As long as the tank looks decent. One of the things you should do probably about every 6 months is the motors. I removed the screws already, so the impeller. The impeller what makes the unit work. This should be taken out and cleaned periodically, okay? This is your impeller. This is what propels and moves your water. You see that it's really gunked up. You should periodically clean this. I try to do it about once every 6 months whenever I do any major filter maintenance. You could use a toothbrush to clean it well and then just replace it. Just make sure that your oil ring, the seal goes back in place. This is the biological media. These are matrix. They very porous stones, and these are pretty clean. So this should be the last thing that your water hits. Should be this before it gets returned to the tank. So you want the water to be filtered by the other mechanical things before it finally hits the stones here. This is Purigen. I always put Purigen in Purigen can be reused. These were the Purigens that were in there, which they can be recycled and recharged by putting it in bleach. So I have these here because I have them out for a couple of months now. I haven't been using it in the tank. Usually one is enough for about 100-gallon tank. I put 2 of these in each tank, and it does remove a lot of the odors and some of the organics out of the water and odors. And if you have tannins, which is the brown coloring from some wood products, it certainly will remove it. But if you have any medications in the tank, you do not want to use this because it's going to remove the medication, or any kind of carbons. You should always remove it first. So the FX6 has these 3 baskets of material. The bottom one, I have about 5 bags of biological media and stones. This is a Biohome. I just have a mix of both. Biohome is the advertised that is very good one, very good, and so is also Matrix. They say that it can help control your nitrates also, but either way, I have done both. This tank has been running for about 3 years. This was almost 6 months since I last cleaned it, so the bottom sponges were a little bit gunky. The other one is also biological media. Here, I have 2 large bags. Once you get the filter together, your last at the top should be usually at this point that we use any chemical media that I will use in one of the 2 top trays, so that if I have to exchange it or clean them or recharge them, like with the Purigen, I could just remove it from the top without dismantling the whole filter and reaching to the bottom. They say that the chemical media should go at the bottom, but in a case like this, the water goes through it either way, and you can just easily remove it without taking the whole filter out and apart. So here, I generally will use a coarse and fine filter pads to do your your mechanical filtration. The Fluval flows through the outside through the coarse pads, then comes through the center, down the fine pads, and into your biological media. That it should be the last thing the water hits. So once you put everything back together, this Fluval has these nice little gadgets here that you can just pick it up and just drop it into the canister, and that's pretty much it. You put it back together, you connected the hoses. You should remove them and clean them with it. There's a wire brush that you use, not a wire but a brush that you can use to clean the inside of the hose, because it gets a lot of a film built up in there too. So that's kind of pretty much it. This was done about almost 6 months ago. Depending on your tank, you may have to do more often. I try to get the fine filter pads, filter floors, changed about maybe once a month, just to keep the tank very clean. And in spite of all that, the tank has been very clear anyway. But I noticed the water output was slow. That's why I decided I think it's time to change it. But I didn't realize that it had been that long already. Sometimes you kind of time flies by when you're having fun. Well, thank you for listening very much, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet, and give a like, and please pass on the message for anybody who may like this show or be interested in keeping aquarium. Thank you so much. If you have not done so yet, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share if you find that these contents are useful. Thank you.